So
You'll be hanging out as long as I let you. Anyway, hey everybody.
I'm sorry, did someone say something?
Yes, exactly. Are those new headphones there, buddy? They look new.
No. My head got smaller, so they look bigger.
Gotcha. Fair enough. It's March 22nd, 2017. It is the Alaboom, and we are live. How's everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Molto bene.
Awesome.
You sounded like the Miz right there, if you know who that is, the wrestler. Awesome. Then his music starts up and does whatever. I am excited that WrestleMania is only about 10, 11 days away now. So, though I'm not really excited about the card that's coming. Not that you guys care about wrestling, so I'll just stop talking about that. So, other than that, we didn't have one last week because, well, did you have one, Barry, or no?
Me and Barry chatted privately for a little while, but that's about it. Nobody else showed up.
By the time I remembered, it was like super late. You know, it was like midnight Vegas time, and I was just kind of like, I was like, the boom, and I was just like,
3 a.m. I'm not getting on.
No. So I was just like, okay, well, that's not going to happen. But yeah. So I was at GAMA. Peter, you weren't there.
No, I was not.
Yeah,
I will be there next year. We had some new people that we brought on to Simon, and they didn't need to. They didn't. Well, no, I mean we had new marketing people that we hired over the last 3 or 4 months, and since we didn't need 25 people to run our booth, they let some people that hadn't been there previously go this year. So I graciously stepped aside, and but I'll be there next year.
Yeah, it'll be in Reno next year. It's not going to be in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm all right with that, honestly. I really didn't like Bally's. I have a very bad reaction to smoke, and I don't know if Reno's better or not. Hopefully it is, but Bally's, I was so sick at Bally's that last year I was sick for like a month. When I came home, my lungs were all messed up, so I didn't miss Bally's this year at all.
Bally's is a dump.
It is. It is. I mean, if we're going to hold GAMA, let's do it at like Caesar's Palace, where at least the filtration system's better.
Well, like Bally's owns Paris, and Paris is nice, right? But
Right.
Bally's Prime is a shithole.
Yeah, matter of fact, when I was there last year, I spent most of my time in Paris eating meals and stuff than I did at Bally's because I wanted out of that casino.
Bally's is like a bigger imperial palace.
Well, so it's it was like Bally's is kind of. Well, it is kind of a run. It's this big giant. I don't know, like a big giant place or whatever that seems like it doesn't really belong on the Strip anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the Motel 6 of Vegas Strip.
It is. Are any of you friends with Paul Alexander Butler, who works for Cubicle 7? He posted a picture. He went to GAMA, and the first night he was there, he got in his room and put his stuff away, and he pulled the bed sheets off, and there was a used prophylactic under his comforter. Yeah, welcome to GAMA. Yeah, the place is just disgusting. I'm glad I won't ever have to stay there again.
How does he know it was used?
He took a picture of it. You could see it. It was pretty gross. It was pretty gross.
Yeah, he planted it there. He just wanted a free hotel room. That's all.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
No, so I mean, it was actually I lucked out because my brother lives in Vegas, so I was able to just like go hang out with my my niece also, who goes to college actually in Fargo, North Dakota. Like I was able to and like so she was at home, and my nephew who's 16 was there, and then my brother was there, and my sister-in-law, and so I was able to hang out with my family, which was nice. It was just kind of like just hang out and just do our thing, and then I would go to GAMA, and then we had some meetings afterwards each day, and then I would just catch an Uber back to his house, and I'd hang out there with the family and play games with them. So it was kind of neat. It was just like it was both a chance to hang out with my family, but also a chance to like do some work. And GAMA's weird, I'll say this, the weirdest thing about GAMA for me was that, like, because it's like a weird trade show, like one, there isn't there's some media there because I mean I saw like I obviously I saw Tom and I saw the guys from Board Game Geek. I ran into Rodney, and other people from the Dice Tower Network. So I ran into people, but there weren't a lot of media people there, but it was weird because it was a convention that when everybody started shutting down and like everybody was like, okay, we're shutting down and everything like that. The people that ran the booths were just throwing their stuff out. They were just like, take anything you want, just take it, get it out of here. Unlike like other conventions where it's just like, like everybody like either has like a plan to like ship it to like a distribution center or something like that. It was weird. It was just kind of.
Was this your first trade show, Lance?
For a board game trade show, yeah.
Okay, that's common practice. I like my first year with Cool Mini. I went to about 4 trade shows, and it's pretty much the operating procedure. At the end of the show, what you bring is pretty much you're assuming you're going to be giving it to retailers as to incentivize them pushing your product, or to give them as a reward to the retailers that do push your product. I know that with us at every trade show, during the show, people will come up and ask for things, and we'll put their name on it. And at the end of the show, we'll just give that to them. We don't ever plan on shipping back anything when we go to a trade show like that. It's all the stuff we bring, except prototypes and stuff. We pretty much anticipate giving it away at those shows, and I believe most other companies are on that same page as well. No. I've not seen many that haven't given away most of the stuff they have there.
Yeah. No, I mean, so it was just kind of weird. I mean, seeing that, like literally one place they were like, it was like, it was a booth that they dealt in like trading card supplies, and so like they had like sleeves and stuff, and they were like literally like throwing them like a t-shirt, like a t-shirt gun, like out into the crowd. Much to the annoyance of like a couple of people that had booths next to them, because they had people like basically clamoring in their booth trying to grab stuff. So I could see like people were like kind of annoyed. They're like, it's like, could you like not do this and try to like, so I can actually have, he's like, this is great. I got a bunch of people in my booth with their backs and butts facing me. This is exactly what I wanted out of GAMA, So.
Yeah, that's why we do the name thing. We usually just take names and give them to them at the end of the show. A lot of the other people do that too, but there are a few people that try to make a spectacle out of it, and that is sometimes a little bit hard for the neighbors. I know we had an issue like that at BGG, not last year, but the year before, where there was a really, really loud booth that was trying to do all kinds of promotional things and yelling and throwing things, and it made it real hard to, like, for our demo guys to actually give demos and stuff. Luckily, we had you guys as our neighbors last year instead. So.
I was gonna say,
was it Tasty Bristol?
No. This was the year before, not last year. Last year we had very good neighbors.
Atlas games.
Yeah.
No.
Last year we had good neighbors.
And then the cool thing is after we got done with GAMA, we went to MeepleCon afterwards, which was like this like small, maybe 600 people, like local convention at like a definitely off the strip, like different, like casino. I mean, it was not it was like a. It was like a local casino. Like the strip is for people that come up from out of town. This was a casino where people that are local who gamble go to. Mm-hmm. And that's neither here nor there. And the cool thing is my dad actually snowboards in Arizona. And so he actually drove up to hang out and play games and have some fun. And so that was kind of cool. I got my brother and my nephew came, and my dad did, and we played some games at MeepleCon. And fan of the show and sometimes contributor Paul was at MeepleCon. I did not know he lived in Vegas. So, and him and his lovely lady were there and playing games, and I got to play games with Alaboomer Paul, which was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, Paul's great. I went there last year and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, really laid back. I played a few games with Sam of the Dice Tower, and that was fun. And played some games with Berkey, friend of the show, and so yeah, it was good stuff. Does anybody have any grievances, or if Jim's only got a short amount of time, maybe we should let Keith do his initials, since I feel pretty good about winning right now with the three of you.
So much for my escape plan.
I believe last week or the week before, I believe I had more points than you, Lance. So I don't know how you feel that good about it.
It was a full moon, so
Okay. Just checking.
yeah, you know. So I mean, it's not my fault.
Of course not.
It's anybody's fault but mine. So yeah. Here, I was gonna do one thing. Hold on a second here. But other than that, I mean, did anybody? I mean, I actually, you know, like even though I would agree 1,000% that the venue of GAMA is kind of, you know, for lack of a better term, I believe like
sucks ass.
Well, I mean, it's just because it's different, right? You know, it's just like it's not a normal situation. You know, it's just weird. You know, being in Vegas is just kind of weird. You know, and I was kind of actually interested in like maybe possibly going to gamble at some point, but I never did. You know, I was just like, oh, you know, if I can get like, you know, one person to like go join me at a poker table or whatever, I go and do that.
I apologize for that because I would have been the gambling buddy with you because I went and gambled last year with Eric Summer and Z Garcia because they're the only two people in the whole dice tower that like believe in gambling, and we would pal around every night and go drop like $20 in some slot machines or blackjack or whatnot. And then none of the people that I hang out with do a lot of gambling either. So next year in Reno, I believe they have casinos in Reno, so we'll have to gamble next year.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely one of those things where, but I mean, I'm not like, you know, it's not like something where I'm like, you know, upset about it. I mean, it's just, it didn't happen, you know, for whatever reason. So no big deal. But, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's a different feel, you know, and plus it was like, you know, so, and then like everybody was just kind of, you know, sitting downstairs, there was one bar that was right next to where the Ubers dropped and picked people up off at Bally's, and everybody was just kind of grouped up there every night, which, you know, was fine and all, but then it was just like, it's a bar in Vegas, so it was just kind of weird and seedy and, you know, just, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there was like that last year too. 2:00 in the morning, there's like 40 people gathered around that little bar right in the middle of the casino, right by the front desks and stuff where the entrance is to the taxis. It was pretty funny. Especially when you see the Vegas people mixing with the board game people, and then you see some of the entrepreneurs that also work in that area. It was a real weird mix of people.
That's a kind way of putting it, I guess. Is the entrepreneurs, if you will. Excellent. But
people selling bottled water on the overpass.
Yeah, them. That's who we're referring to.
Did you get any of the people flicking the cards on the street? The guys that come up and flicking the cards?
They've actually cut that down a lot. They aren't allowed to do like the flicking of the cards. Or I mean, somebody was telling me about that. It's like they've taken a little bit of that away. You know, like
that's cool. Last year it was all over the place. I had an entire baseball card collection of prostitutes. It was awesome.
Well, no, those are down on their luck people that are trying to work their way through college. So yeah, you know how it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's neither here nor there kind of thing. It's just, you know, it's Vegas. So, you know, there's my brother who lives there, he like got to see Vegas when it was, you know, like when like the weird, I don't want to say like heyday, because it's depending upon what you think, you know, there's a certain type of Vegas that people like. And it was one of those things where they had Vegas was very much a family, like not friendly situation. Like it was just, you know, and now they tried to go more family friendly. So like the big thing everybody talked about in Vegas was like you can go and have like a $6 buffet or something like that. That was like you go someplace and it was like food was cheap because they made so much money off of gambling. But they decided to go family oriented and try to like have things for kids to go do and things like that. And so they kind of raised the prices for everything. And then they realized that people were still going to come and spend a lot of money, and they didn't have to, you know, they didn't have to like give crap away. And so now like the days of Vegas being, you know, inexpensive to go there other than the gambling is, you just not existent or what have you. So, but
yeah, the first time I went there, it was pretty cheap. Me and my wife went on our 5th anniversary, and we ate very inexpensively and gambled all day. But when I went last year for GAMA, the food was not cheap at all. It doubled, if at least doubled, since the first time I'd been.
Mac Drizzle, the zoo game from TMG is called Zooscape, just so you know. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Well, yeah, there we go. That was that and the other thing and what have you. And we have the Berkmeister here as well.
Hey.
Wow, it's like your camera is just positioned perfectly so we could see maybe a board game topper in the back.
Hey, I like the choice of game on it.
With a Blood Rage game, just happens to be on there as well. Look at that! Isn't that peculiar, if you will? That
yes.
It's almost like you had planned on doing that, Kevin. Like it was there for a reason.
This is actually the new setup in my basement. So here's my webcam. I can point it over there, the regular table, all that. But this is my new computer setup, and I have the table set up there. So there you go.
Oh, okay, and I'll let you off the hook. So, all right. Well, if Jim's got to go soon, I'm gonna turn the reins over to Keith
Before you do, I have an anti-grievance.
Oh, an anti-grievance.
Yes, this is my anti-grievance.
Go for it.
I'm showing you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying any attention to what you're doing. I was staring at my. Oh. That's like the when do you get the real art?
This is the pre-production copy.
Oh yeah. So besides that clip art that's on there, when do you get the real stuff?
Nice try.
It looks very nice, my friend.
It's beautiful. I'm very happy with it. And
you're beautiful. I'm very happy with you.
The cards came out nice too. Listen to this. Hear that?
No, do it again.
Are those cards from Vegas?
Can you guys hear anything? I can't hear anything.
Nice and thick. They're punch out. So anyway, that's my anti-grievance.
No, it looks good, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I think that'll be good for you and good for you.
When's that coming out, Jim?
I should have copies early summer. It'll be officially released at Gen Con.
So you might have some pre-release stuff at Origins?
Yeah, I don't have a booth, so I can't sell anything at Origins, but I'll bring a copy for you.
Are you going to have dancing ladies at Gen Con again?
I have one dancing lady at Gen Con this year who is dressing herself up like the dancer card.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it'll be very nice.
Well, good for you and good for you, as I said. So, Keith, what are our initials? Give them to me. Come on, let's do this.
Our initials are AP.
Advanced placement.
And I would just like to I just realized for some dumb reason, I thought somebody else would have before and afters, but I don't have any before and afters. So I'll have to skip that tonight. I apologize.
Bastard.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I totally blanked it out, and today was a really busy day for me. So I remember I asked the question, and you guys know I asked if anybody had initials, and then Keith said he had them. So I have a set of 15 initials ready to go. So I'm waiting to win. And I
just do double initials.
We're not doing double initials.
Why?
Because you're going to be gone, and I won't have you saying Sam Waterston during mine. So
I won't say that for AP. I'll say Anna Paquin.
See, you're giving away things now. See, people are like writing these down now. Be quiet. You're ruining the game.
Not denying that I didn't write that down.
Anal probe.
Stop it!
Stop it!
Ooh, that's a good one.
I need to go back to the live feed.
All right. So whenever you're ready.
Has Berkey played this before? Should we explain the rules?
Berkey's played this before. Remember, I make fun of him all the time. I was like, Kevin, is your microphone
I'm
working?
really good at this. What are you talking about?
Okay.
He's really not here when you make fun of him.
I got game, man. I got game.
All right. That's a nice sheriff shirt you got on, too. Where'd you get that, buddy?
I don't know. Ooh.
No, I mean, it's a nice shirt. I didn't know there was sheriff shirts.
Yeah, they're selling them at Gen Con when they
Yeah, it was
launched
a
the game.
couple of years ago at Gen Con.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I bought one and didn't get it because I screwed
So Anthony, we're playing initials. I need you to get me the information as quick as possible. Okay.
Is Anthony in the chat? Well, Anthony beat you guys in chat. If he's there, but
I'm so dumb. I thought he was doing that. I was like, get off the. Oh wait a minute, he's not really doing that. All right. So for those of you who are somehow, you know what? I had at MeepleCon, I had at least a half a dozen people say that they love this show, which I was flabbergasted by, and then I asked who's paying these people to come up and tell me this. So, but like, and they almost all said that they use it to like have in the background when they work, like they're at work, and then they just put it on YouTube and then just listen to us talk.
I apologize to every one of them.
Yes, exactly. But it's nice. We found our audience.
Kind of sad, actually.
We found our audience, which is like 7 people. So, but still, we found them and they found us, and that's a good thing, right?
Hey, we got 21 watching, and of those, 6 of us are here, so 15 people are watching.
Which, and is everybody got it open in another window?
The chat. I usually keep up the chat open.
Yeah, because I have one open. And by the way, we should actually get Paul in here because I told him he should join us more often. Not for initials, because I want to have him win. But we should definitely get Paul in here later on if he's so inclined. So. All right, so for those of you who've never watched the show for some reason, which, and somehow you stumbled upon this is called Initials. This is a game that we totally, or I should say I totally stole from my local sports radio station, KFan. Every Friday they have this contest, and we do it every week as well. Initials is a game where one person, usually the winner from the week before, picks 2 initials. Like this week it is AP. They have usually around 15. I think we got to standardize that at some point. We got to standardize like 4.
Yeah, there are only 13 tonight. So
yeah, so we need to standardize a number like maybe 12 and 2 tiebreakers or something, just in case we need them or something, so we can standardize it. But anyway, regardless, we will. There's a certain number, and then each one will have the exact same. Do you have tiebreakers, by the way, Keith?
I have 13 total, so we'll call it 12 and a tiebreaker.
12 and a tiebreaker. All right, good deal. So what will happen is that Keith will read off clues. There are 5 clues for each thing. When we think that we know the answer, we will, as Pete furiously Googles up anything that has AP as their initials. As soon as they we think it is our name is our buzzer, our official like judge of Kabuki Kid I saw is available, so she will be telling us who she thinks won each one of these if she's paying attention. And then also Paul Tompkins is also our official scorekeeper, so he will be also. I see he's available as well.
The easiest thing for Kabuki Kid is to just write down Anthony for all of the answers.
Yes.
Winner, and then just cross them off as VP.
Well, sadly, Anthony is the all-time champ at this for us. I think he's got like 9 career victories. I think the closest one next is I was looking at. I think Keith has 3, and I think he's the next closest, like 3 or 4. So I mean, so he is like the champ. I've only got 2. I thought I had more. I was actually very disappointed when I saw that I had 2. So and then Pete I think is 3rd with 3. Yeah, he's 1 behind Keith. He's, so, but anyway, so they ring in with your buzzer. If you guess the right, you get a point. If you guess it wrong, you are out for that clue. You can't answer anything else. After all 12 are done, we total up the number of points, and whoever is got the most will win. Now, why does that matter? Because 1, it's for pride for us. It's something that we can brag about when we see each other at conventions and what have you. But for you that are lucky enough to be listening live, you can tweet at a Gateway Gamer, which is our lovely and talented Barry Reynolds. Wave, Barry.
Hey, Barry.
Hey. Opening up Twitter. Hold on.
Yeah. So tweet who you think is going to win and how many points they will have, including the tiebreaker. So like if Pete and I were tied at 4, and then we did the tiebreaker, and Pete got it right, and he won 5-4. The correct answer would be Pete with 5, as the victory, and then they tweet that to Barry. Now, if you guess the correct person and the correct number, then you are in line for a prize. And the prize is not wonderful, but I'll make sure that you get something sent from the TMG prize vault. TMG, our lovely sponsor for the weekly Alaboom. The only other thing I can think of is that I don't think that we've ever had this, but I think if two people tie for the win, I don't know, I'll have to randomly pick between the two or something. I don't know, because I'm not giving away two prizes. I'll tell you that much right now.
You can't part with 2 copies of Jab.
No.
Jesus.
Well, that's out of print, baby.
Fine, 1 copy of Jab and then like the waste
With
paper from the
good
company or something.
So funny story. So I went and ate a meal with Sam from the Dice Tower.
Healy?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, and Kevin, and we were sharing stories. Who's the 4th person that was with us? Why can't I remember, Kevin?
Why can't you remember? Was it Derek? No, it wasn't Derek.
I can't remember. I just can't. I can picture them. I can't think of the name. But anyway, so we had we were having dinner, and then I remarked that Sam got an Arnold Palmer to drink, so he got an old man's drink, and then he got his eggs scrambled. So and then he had a young man's eggs. He had a child's eggs and an old man's drink. I thought that was hilarious. And then he got upset with me because I was making fun of him. So
Thanks for that, Lance.
what?
Oh, it was Barb's husband.
Oh, I didn't even think of Arnold Palmer. Oh yeah, that's right. It was yeah, exactly. It was Barb's husband. Yeah, Matt. All right, and we exchanged ghost stories while we sat there. It was very nice.
All right, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
You bought enough time to write down everything with AP that could possibly exist.
And I actually even
Well,
mentioned a drink that I didn't even think of the fact that it was Arnold Palmer.
All
And
right. So AP, and I'm going to steal a little bit of what he did last week with using originated instead of born to kind of hide that it's a person right off the get-go. So I like that. So here we go. Number 1, originated June 26th, 1984. Was a founding member of the Los Angeles Pistol Shrimps basketball team. Was married to a Star-Lord. Mostly known for working for a Parks and Rec department.
I can't think of her name.
I got it, Berkey.
Berkey?
Oh,
5,
Amy
4.
Poehler.
Incorrect, sir.
That's
Pete?
close.
Pete?
Amy Poehler?
Incorrect, sir.
That's what I just said.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Wait,
Someone
what's-
talked over you. Someone talked over you. I didn't hear it.
That's who it is.
Our most popular character was the 4th month of the year.
Berkey.
Lance. No, you already
Lance?
answered. Lance.
No, I can do it again. I got it wrong the first time.
No, you can't. You're wrong. Maybe they're mispronouncing it. Amy Poehler?
Incorrect, sir.
God, how do you pronounce the name?
Not
don't know.
like that at all, because it's
I know
not
it
Amy.
Oh, it's not Amy then.
Don't say Amy.
I want extra credit.
That's it. That's the new one for tonight. Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
Okay, Berkey, what is it? You don't get points, though.
April Poehler?
Incorrect, sir.
Nice
right.
answer.
The actress's name is Aubrey Plaza,
Oh.
who played the little black-haired girl in Parks and Rec.
Oh, you're being tricky. That's what you're doing.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, bastard.
Well, that's you. Yeah, whatever.
Hey,
Moving
whatever.
all right. Number 2, originated April 4th, 1932. I hear Google going.
Yeah, no.
Googling is cheating, Berkey.
Pete?
No, I was looking at the chat.
Pete?
Arnold Palmer?
Incorrect.
Oh, look at you! I like the
The right age. It's around the right age.
Yeah, I like. I like the
received an
boldness.
Academy Award nomination for his second film.
Ah, frig.
Can we win a second film?
His wife died September 11th, 2001, in the September 11 attacks, 9 years after he passed away.
Ooh, interesting factoid.
And I definitely don't know who it is.
No, I'm drawing a blank too.
He was best known for running a hotel. Or
Jim.
motel, I should say. Jim.
Anthony Perkins.
That is correct, Jim.
Oh, well done, Jim. Psycho.
That's my one. I'm done.
The last clue was don't shower.
Yeah.
Way ahead of you.
Number 3. Originated May 22nd, 1846.
Pete, guess Arnold Palmer.
No, that's too old.
Jim.
Was organized by
Jim rang in. Wait, Jim rang in.
Alexander Pushkin.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
All right. Was organized by Yale Moses Beach.
What? Say that again.
Was organized by Yale Moses Beach. In 1945, was found in violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act by the U.S. Supreme Court. Operates many sports polls.
Oh, I know this one.
Pete.
Pete?
The Associated Press?
That's correct.
Oh, man.
Good one, Pete.
Thank you.
Ah.
I got it.
That was a good one, Keith. That was a good one.
The last one was operates 243 news bureaus in 120 countries. Number 4.
Arnold Palmer. Amy Poehler.
Nice. Number 4 was born 8 days after me on October 18th, 1971. Studied economics. Has worked in cattle, piracy, African trading, witchcraft, and Scottish land management.
What?
Was the winner of 2 Kennerspiel des Jahres awards.
Oh, frig.
Turkey.
Berkey.
I'm wrong.
5.
Alexander Pfister.
That's correct, Berkey.
I'm not wrong.
And
Oh,
the
that's
game titles are all on a shelf right here behind my head.
No, look at you being all funny.
I just played that Oh My Goods at MeepleCon.
That was the pirate, or that wasn't the pirate game. It's also got that Port Royal, which is the pirate game. I forgot all my goods. I would have thrown that in there too. Right. After 4 questions, we have Jim with 1, Pete with 1, Berkey with 1, and me with 1.
And technically Keith with 1. Keith, if you make it difficult enough, Keith could be the winner.
Number 5. Originated October 28th, 1952. Has worked as an interior designer. Also worked as a receptionist.
Who's eating the microphone right now?
That's Pete. Made her big screen film debut in a film with Mark Hamill.
What?
I know the show. It's that bad sci-fi one.
Would you shut up?
The last clue. Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Jim.
Oh,
Jim?
Annie Potts.
Correct, Jim.
dang it!
Nice.
I was like, please get it wrong, Jim. Please get it wrong.
Nice.
I had a crush on her.
Mm.
Yeah, she worked
Not
on the
enough
show
to stop
Designing
them.
Women, and of course, is the receptionist in Ghostbusters, among others.
Number
6.
These are really good. These are really
They're
good.
very good questions.
These are very good clues. Very good clues.
I tried to work harder than I did the first time.
Hmm.
Number 6. Well, I didn't know what I was doing the first time I did them, so I'm trying to improve. Number 6. Originated September 10th, 1929. Advertised for Pennzoil from the back of a tractor.
Pete.
Pete?
Arnold Palmer.
That is correct, Pete.
That's what it is.
I was gonna take that shot too, and I was like, no,
No guts, no glory.
no, you
Yes.
shush.
His 95 professional wins has won 7 major championships. And
Nah,
iced tea and lemonade mixed bear his name.
which is a really good drink, by
It's my favorite drink.
It's so good. It's so good. Do you get the stuff that's from Arizona tea that they mix?
I have got that before as well. Yes, they Lipton also makes a good tea mix, but the ones from Arizona are great.
Stay away from the Snapple. The Snapple one is horrible. It's a pile.
I
But,
do have a question. Does your or Barry's buzzers work?
No, shut up. So no, and then you can drink and like you can get like that the Arizona tea one, like they make a 0-calorie one that like tastes really good and you don't even realize it's like
They
drinking
also
water.
make the ones you can just take a bottle of water and turn it into a Arnold Palmer. I've got the liquid ones and the powdered ones that you can just take one of these and dump it in a bottle of water and it makes an Arnold Palmer.
Are they
And
like
then-
0
and then-
calorie?
Are they 0 calorie? They're 5 calories a pack.
Okay, that's
And
cool.
if Pete wins tonight, whoever votes for him gets one of those. Pete's going to send you one.
Yeah.
Or
And
why
then
not?
and then you if you dump in whiskey and it becomes a John Daly. So
Very good, sir. Very good.
well that's actually a drink, the John Daly.
And it's also insulting itself.
He actually trademarked it, like he sells his own version of it now because he got
Nice.
sick and tired of people like doing it. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Number 7. Originated December 20th, 1948.
Yes, Arnold Palmer.
Went to work at Abbey Road Studios.
Jim.
At the age of Jim?
Ellen Parsons.
That is correct, Jim.
Nice.
Oh my gosh!
Nice.
Where is this coming from?
Didn't even think of him. Damn it.
Oh, you know what song I love by the Alan Parsons Project?
What's
The Don't Answer Me. Like that, don't answer me. On your island, don't let me win. Yeah, you look it up. It's a great song. And the video was like a cartoon. It was really cool. Anyway.
The last questions of that one were engineered Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon album. Lost the 1980 Grammy Award for Best Soundtrack to John Williams' Superman. And worked in the projects.
Yes, the Alan Parsons Project.
Number 8. Jim has 3. Pete has 2. Berkey has 1. And I have 1.
That's more than Lance.
I like
This
the
one-
record. I like the record to show that my microphone hasn't been working correctly this week.
Nice. Originated April 1943. Is a retired British intelligence and ex-SAS operative. Is proficient with mechanical and computer systems. Tends to have to provide a lot of medical care to his boss.
What to his boss?
Medical care.
Lance,
Lance.
Alfred Pennyworth.
That is correct, Lance.
Oh,
thank
son
you.
of a bitch. That's good.
Yes.
And likely the most famous butler in the world.
Damn it, Keith. You are good. You are on fire tonight.
Yeah, these are great clues.
These are great clues.
I liked Alfred Pennyworth. I think he's my favorite one from the list.
Oh, that was good.
All
Wasn't
right.
it?
There's a great fan theory that Alfred Pennyworth is actually Bruce Wayne's dad.
What?
Yeah, there's a great they point to all these different things that they've happened in the comics where like Alfred has like this like why is he so like why is he continue to take care of Bruce Wayne? And there's all these moments in the comics that they point to, which obviously have spanned decades, but that like the way he talks about Martha Wayne is like in more of a like perhaps like like his father actually wasn't around all the time, always working kind of thing. Yeah, and so then they talk about how like he knew Martha Wayne before she knew Thomas and things like that. And so there's hints that it's quite, but like because of the fact that he would never let Bruce Wayne like ever consider like he doesn't want to ruin his his father's image or whatever to him. So but that's like you can find it there. It's pretty awesome to read online. It's probably never even been considered and not true, obviously, but it's a fun little fan theory. But
nice.
Yeah.
Number 9 originated March 21st, 1985. Originally from Texas, but went to college in Oklahoma.
Berkey.
Oh, damn it!
Adrian Peterson.
That's correct, Berkey.
And damn it, Lance! I thought
This
you
one
had
was
that.
all for you, Lance, and you let Berkey steal it.
Right on the top of my list. Yeah, baby. I knew it was coming.
I make and I don't want to talk ill about anybody, but the fact that he's still looking for a job doesn't bother me at all. So I'll just say that. I'll say that, and I understand, give everybody a second chance or anything like that, but I could talk for a long time about why I was always upset that the Minnesota Vikings brought him back. So, but anyway, regardless, moving forward.
Number 10 originated April 25th, 1940. Has worked as a mobster, a cop,
Pete.
an addict. Pete.
Al Pacino.
That's correct, sir.
I was sitting on that one.
I was too.
All right, so here's the scores. We got Berkey with 2, Pete with 3, Jim with 3, Keith with 1, me with 1.
Lance with 1. Two more questions.
There are 2 more questions, so it's literally anybody's game. Both Keith and I have to run the table.
I'm not going to run the table. I didn't.
Yeah. So okay, I'm the suckhole then with 1 point.
Well, Barry has 0.
Well, that's true. Barry, you're out.
But Barry's asleep.
Yes.
Barry, you are out of contention, but you can play spoiler at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Other Al Pacino clue was that he won the Triple Crown of acting: the Oscar, the Tony, and the Emmy.
Oscar, Tony, and Emmy. Yeah.
So,
I know it was you, Fredo. I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
Okay, besides Godfather, Al Pacino's best role.
Scarface.
See, I think Scarface is just kind of it's
No,
just,
Scent of a Woman.
Scent of a Woman was good too, but I mean, it's like
Anger management.
that was the wrong guy.
Anger
That was that other guy, the Nicholson.
Yeah, that was
Jack Nicholson.
No, it was You Talking to Me?
Yeah, you're talking to me? You're talking to me?
That was crap, what's his name? Deer Hunter.
Well, so here's
De Niro.
I
De Niro,
am
Robert De Niro.
so annoyed. Nobody's going to mention Serpico.
No, that movie sucked.
Oh, you are.
I agree
you
with
are-
Jim.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Well, in the chat, we've got Dog Day Afternoon, Heat, and Any Given Sunday as his best performances.
No, go back and watch Serpico. Serpico is ridiculously good. It's
The chat is always right.
Yeah,
What
I'd
was
have to
that
say
one he played the
Given
devil
Sunday Any Given Sunday could be his best role too. I like that movie a lot.
that movie is. I don't know. He was good in Donnie Brasco. And Heat, I'll agree. In Heat, he was good.
Mhm.
I don't know. Scarface, it was just like they just said, "Go ahead and eat the scenery," and then he did. And just went over the top. Carlito's Way, he was really good in
That's
Carlito.
right, Kabuki. Godfather 2 and 3 truly is best.
Godfather 3 did not happen.
I liked it. 2 is the best.
The three never happened. But Godfather 2 is one of those rare situations where the sequel was better than the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
all right, number 11
All right, let's do this.
originated January 16th, 1980. It's been a 10-time All-Star.
Pete.
Pete.
Albert Pujols.
That's correct, Pete.
Damn it.
job, Pete.
Pete is in. Okay. Pete with
Due to the
4.
sport ball, I was out.
All
Now
right,
it will either be Pete or Jim at this point.
Yes,
Everyone else is playing spoiler.
if anybody else spoils it, then we will. But Jim has to get this to force the tiebreaker, and then so I don't know. Yeah, Pete, have you ever hosted an initials? You must have
No, I
hosted
have not.
this.
Nope, I've not
Oh.
won.
Well, no, because when you've won before, haven't you?
Nope, I have not.
I thought for sure you'd won.
Nope,
Oh,
came in
'cause-
second a bunch of times, but
Ooh, look at this! You're all excited. I can tell. But anyway, and let the record show as well that if Anthony was playing, none of us would have scored a point.
I would have got originated Anthony. Analysis paralysis. That's correct.
Adrian Peterson. Yeah, okay, way to go.
All right, here we go.
Number 12. Originated September 16th, 1971. Was once married to Batman. Worked a lot of late nights on the weekends.
Jim.
Jim?
Anna Popovich.
Incorrect, sir.
Pete's the winner.
Has worked as a public servant and as a politician.
oh my God, is it Pete?
Pete?
Is this Amy Poehler?
This is Amy Poehler, correct, Pete? Last question. Was the boss to question number 1?
Where's my Anna Paquin?
Tiebreaker originated the 24th of July, 1982.
Anna Paquin.
That's probably Anna Paquin.
Having only acted previously as a skunk in a school play, her first cast role earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress.
Yep.
She was the second youngest Oscar winner in history at age 11.
Mhm.
Decided that she needed to become a superheroine and went rogue.
Yes. Oh, look at you all. Clever.
And
Wow.
married her True Blood co-star, Stephen Moyer.
No Adrian Paul, huh? No Highlander love? I was waiting for
Nope.
that.
No
So-
Highlander.
so the two that I had on
Berkey got 2. Paul's saying the score wrong.
the 2 I had on my list, Keith, that I was waiting for was Amy Pond and
Nope.
Arthur Pendragon.
Nope.
Ooh.
I thought for sure you'd come up with one of those.
Oh, look at that, Arthur Pendragon.
Yeah,
So, Barry, check Pete with 5 as the victory, and let me know. And if there is a winner, reach out to them and ask them for their address, then get that to me.
Pete
send
took the
that-
last
send
3
that
in a row.
Make sure to send that address to Pete too, because he's got to send some Arnold Palmer powder.
Yeah, Arnold Palmer powder. You know,
I'm going
maybe
to say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night, Jim.
actually, no. You know what? Pete's going to give you a complete and total package of Rising Sun as the winning.
Yeah.
Hey, before you go, did Jim already leave? Crap. I had 2 more things for Jim.
Man,
I wrote 2 before and afters while we were talking.
Jim did great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He was on fire. I really thought he was going to catch me. I really did. He was on fire for a while there.
Good clues. Good clues there, Keith. Well
Well,
done.
thank you, sir.
Yes, that was by far the best. Not just because I won, but those clues were very creative. I really enjoyed them. They weren't too hard, but they were hard enough that you threw you off in the beginning, which is always a good before or initials.
Yeah.
And I wasn't happy with the first ones I did. I felt like it's just quoting facts. And this one, I researched and looked for kind of just odd facts or things people might know by, just giving hints that aren't necessarily straight facts, right? So it was fun.
They were great.
Here you go. I got 2 before and afters that I just wrote for you.
Well, let's hear one.
Ready? Caramel coated pirate with peanuts.
Caramel coated pirate with peanuts.
Oh my God!
I want to say, I know, Berkey.
What is it, Berkey? What did you say?
Apple Jacks.
No.
Applejack's. No. Caramel coated
Let's work together. We can figure this out.
Okay.
Caramel coated pirate.
with peanuts. Snickers.
Oh, no, I was on the right track.
What? What are you trying to say?
Cracker Barrel,
Cracker Jack Sparrow.
There you go, Cracker Jack.
Jack Sparrow.
job.
Oh, look at
Nice
that. There you go.
assist. Nice assist.
And the S even rolls in, right? So
yeah. Cracker Jack. We were thinking candy bars, not caramel coated popcorn.
The other one I threw in there really quick was if Sid Saxon were to design an 80s electronic integrated board game.
Can't Stop Thief.
There you go.
Nice. Nice.
So there you go. 2 quick before and afters, just so we can say we had it.
There you go. So yeah. So that was cool. Okay, so now does anybody have, I mean, I really don't have any, but does anybody have any grievances they wish to
I
air?
have a grievance.
Oh boy,
All right.
here it comes.
I got this game, and I had to put stickers on stuff because the only thing I didn't like about this game were the little nobles, and so I had to put the stickers on. But I'm glad they included the stickers.
I actually like the nobles better than the stickers on there, but I'm glad that we give the option.
I like the purple noble and I like the red noble, but the white nobles look like they're stoned out of their minds.
Yeah, with the big noses.
Yeah,
We got those Charlie Brown noses.
I played a 5-player game of that at MeepleCon, and I could tell it was like one of Sam's favorite games because he ramped, like, basically he kind of like sandbagged for like 3 turns and then he just ramped the heck out of it and it crushed us over the last 2. So
these are freaking amazing.
Those are great coins.
The keys are,
I mean, amazing coins. They're heavy. They've got unique designs. They are awesome. These are the best. These, along with Scythe and Viticulture, are the best coins I've had actually come in a game box.
they stack well too, which I like. So
Yeah. And I mean, they're great. I love metal coins in games. It's funny, we'll spend more than real metal coins that we use to pay for goods costs to get metal coins for our games, but God, they're worth it.
And the little
I've never played Coliseum before, so.
And the little Emperor's Loge and the podium and the stadiums, those are really cool in there.
Yeah, the stadiums are nice. All the parts are nice. I'm trying to figure out why they're called season tickets, but they're really kind of grandstands. I was confused when I was reading it, but
it may not be.
They're 5 points.
Yeah, it might not be the best terminology for them, but I think, I mean, it is what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, the biggest
Days of Wonder version, they just had a little cardboard shit that went around the corner, so those are definitely an upgrade.
Nah. The only thing I struggled with was figuring out on my first play which star performer went with which chits, because not all chits have a star performer. That was the biggest thing I had to figure out, but they were all in the rule book, and once I found that, I just left the rule book open so I could remember. So the rule book was well written. It did a good job too. So I'm really happy. So thanks a lot for sending that over. We had a lot of fun with it.
So Chuck Barris died.
Yes, I saw it.
The Gong Show?
Gong Show guy.
Yeah, sad.
87. Good run.
Yep.
I'm sure he wanted more, but he had a good run. Have you read his autobiography where he says that he was a
CIA agent?
Yeah, he said he was a CIA hitman.
Yeah, funny shit.
I remember watching the Gong Show, and you know what? I just like Gene, the dancing machine. The guy would come out. and then it was just like, they were all either drunk or high, and they just they were all just like all over the place.
Well, that show started in the late 70s, right? So it was like prime time for a little bit of marijuana happiness.
And it was such a, and then like the whole, like the premise of it, they're hitting the gong for people like doing their stupid little gags and whatever.
What I didn't realize is that he also created the dating game and the newlywed game. I didn't realize he was behind all of those. I thought he was just Gong Show, but it turns out he also created those other game shows too, which is funny because those are like iconic 70s and early 80s game shows.
He pushed the envelope a lot too with some of the stuff that he had on his show. I mean, like as far as it being crass and questionable.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was kind of, you know, and so I mean, like it or not, maybe he brought a little bit of the like shocking TV into the forefront or whatever, you know. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, like I said, he seemed like he was a funny guy, and he seemed like he definitely enjoyed life. So yeah, but too bad that he's gone. But like you said, good run, and he had a good time. So nobody can blame that. But I just remember like they had the one. What was it that like he did to what did he do? He had the girls that like were too, you know, the lolly licked a lollipop or whatever, and they came out and pretended to then the lollipops were of questionable design, I guess would be a good way to put it. And as far as, so it was very risque for the time, and that was like the one thing that he had on that like people had a problem with or whatever, that like they kind of, that it like maybe pushed the censors a little bit too far, if you will. But good stuff. And then Chuck Berry died too, you know, at 90, the famous guitar player.
Yeah.
So a bad week for Chucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all sad stuff, but I think we're coming to a time where a lot of the iconic people that we looked up to growing up as kids are hitting those ages where they're just going to start dropping like flies. And it's sad to think that last year was such a horrible thing, but I feel like it's not, the worst is yet to come.
Oh yeah, it'll just continue, and not to like continue traveling down this macabre path. But I mean, I remember my grandfather when he like my mother's dad when he was like in his 50s, making the remark of, the older I get, the more my calendar gets filled with funerals. And I was just kind of like, oh, that's kind of depressing, Grandpa. You know, just like, but what do you do? I have to have oral surgery done, and so I went to my appointment for my consult, which very nice people, very nice place. But explain to me how when you have an appointment, like at 2 p.m., like I did, and you go in and you're on time and you fill out your paperwork and you get in there and they get you in that room, wherever you're going to do your consult, why it's okay to leave me sitting there for an hour and a half waiting to talk to the doctor to come in and talk to me about the procedure. Whereas if I didn't show up for my appointment, they can still charge me for their time. But apparently my time is free.
Well, he did actually eventually come in, though. But yeah, it's horse crap.
I just, why? That's my, like I said,
they've seen you in there before, Lance, and they've got to get that great big chair that has the straps on it and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be a little bit fair to them. From the standpoint, now if they cancel on you same day, they should have to pay you just like you have to pay them. I agree with that. But them being late, that kind of gets out of their control, because they may get into something and God knows what kind of train wreck they fell into, right?
I understand that, I guess, to a certain point, but
I mean, you got inside my mouth, and you know, some guy bit him, and he had to go get a tetanus shot or whatever. Or he got in there and thought they were just going to pull a tooth, and they broke off, and they had to cut it out. Who knows? Yeah. Stuff can go bad.
Have you bit him before, Lance?
no.
Have you had your shots, Lance, just in case you do?
Just a couple, but yeah. So,
Lance, Mac Drizzle wants to know if you've watched any Iron Fist.
I've watched the first 3 episodes with my wife, and I really enjoy it. So
I've watched 5.
I binge watched the whole thing this past weekend.
here I'll give you my honest opinion about this whole thing, and I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, so Daredevil came on the scene, and Daredevil blew us all away. I mean, Daredevil was slow. If you go back and watch the first season of Daredevil kind of started a little bit slow,
Yeah, dude.
and then they crushed you with that fight scene in the hallway, like the one take. Obviously an homage to other martial arts movies where they do the fight one take, and it was very well done. And so they crushed you with that. And you had Vincent D'Onofrio, who was like, I hate to say chewing the scenery again because I already used him, but basically they sent Vincent D'Onofrio and it's like, okay, be an insane mob boss. Okay, I can do that, and they let him go crazy and channel both like his character from Full Metal Jacket and also, a little bit of like when he was on Law and Order, that the kind of like off base detective kind of thing. So it's one of those things where I think that they had a really good cast, but I thought the first season of Daredevil was really, really good. Jessica Jones was okay, but I also was like, I wasn't enamored with it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool that they had Jessica Jones in it. I thought it was cool that they introduced Luke Cage because I was a big fan of Luke Cage. I thought the second season of Daredevil was good, and I thought the inclusion of the Punisher was okay, but then it just kind of fell apart in like the second half. And it was just kind of like, I don't know. It was like they wanted to do like a Punisher show, but it was Daredevil, and it was just kind of like, and it was like, it definitely got a pick up when they brought the Kingpin back in.
Yeah, I like the Kingpin. The Kingpin has honestly been the only interesting antagonist in all of the shows.
I don't know.
Well, no,
Purple Man was pretty good.
I hated the bad guy in Jessica Jones.
But here's the deal. He did a really good job, but they killed him, which is dumb. You can't kill your villains. I have this huge problem with comic book things.
Don't worry, the Hand will bring him back.
Or yeah, I mean, I'm sure they will. But you can't kill off your villains. It's not really comic book to me. I mean, what do I know? I mean, I'm not in charge of a studio, so what do I know? But so here's my deal. I thought Luke Cage was boring as F. I was just like, my wife just stopped watching it at some point. She was just like, this isn't interesting anymore. It just nothing happened. You were just like, for a guy that's invulnerable, it just seemed like he didn't want to do anything. And you're just kind of like, and you're just watching it, and it's just moving slow and slower. And then he had no good villain to fight against.
Yeah, the villains were horrible, and they used a shotgun as the magic gun.
Yeah, I mean, it was just and everybody was like, "Oh, it was so good," and it was like, and I think like the social issues they dealt with it were really, really good, and I thought that like that was kind of nice. But I mean, but at some point, it's like, and this is maybe me, and maybe I'm wrong, but at some point, I want my superheroes just to be super. I don't want to have to be mired in like social like issues and just this morass. I don't watch a superhero movie or a superhero TV show so I can reflect upon the real world and my place in it. I've got enough of that with my normal news that I can get. I want to watch
Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, I want to watch superheroes be super.
Yeah.
Not I'm gonna go sit in my apartment with my broken down door and drink vodka all day. It's just like this. That's not superhero for me. Yeah. So through whatever it is, 3 or 4 episodes of Iron Fist, I'm really enjoying it. Admittedly, I am a total mark for Daniel Rand, and I'm a mark for Iron Fist. I mean, don't give it no spoilers, but I mean, I was a little bit annoyed with like, how long is it going to take for them to like prove that he's him? I was like, if this is something that lasts like 8 or 9 episodes, I'm going to be so annoyed. I'm Daniel Rand. No, you're not. I'm Daniel Rand. No, you're not. But then they cleared that up like pretty quickly, which I appreciated. And I was just like, but so now like you're kind of getting into like a little bit of the meat of the situation, you know, and I'm like, I do think I'm not really all that intimidated by Faramir being the bad guy right now. You know, it's just like because he's just like some dude that was brought back to life. But hopefully, as they move forward, it sounds like they're going to have Crane Mother or like, you know, Madame Gao being Crane Mother. It sounds like they're going to bring her.
Yeah, I think you'll be all right with this season. I did feel though that there was something missing from Iron Fist. Now I've seen the whole thing, and I'm not going to go into any depth because I don't want to spoil it. But I feel like what I was expecting and what I got were two different things. And I still thought it was great. I liked it. I thought the whole season was great, but it definitely took some twists that I maybe didn't agree with.
Here's my feeling, and so then it became a cool thing for them to like for people to hate on it, right? It became cool to hate on it, and I think part of the reason why it became cool to hate on it was that it was a white dude worth $1 billion. And so and we live in a society now where a white dude with $1 billion runs the country and he's a complete joke. So, you know, it is, and the thing is that a lot of the complaints I've heard is about the show being boring or not moving fast or nothing's happening.
I don't agree with that.
Or it's got bad writing or the character's dialogue is bad. And the thing is, if you go back and watch, it's like the dialogue really hasn't been really good except for in Daredevil, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah.
I could only sit there and listen to Jessica Jones talk about how depressed she was and how much she needs to get drunk, you know, for so long before it just gets boring. And I'm just...
No, the dialogue is definitely lacking, but again, they've all been like that, like you said. I don't think that the pacing was an issue. I felt like there was a good amount of action in scenes. I think... Well, I'll wait to have this discussion with you until after you've seen the whole thing, but there's definitely a portion of it that I think if they just gotten rid of it, it would have made the whole thing a lot better. But I did like it. I'm not hating on it. I just think it could have been better, but I don't want to say anything else because it'll probably...
Well, and the thing is that I think I've read every single Power Man Iron Fist comic. I've read every single Iron Fist comic. I mean, I own them all. And so I'm a huge comic book Iron Fist person. So, you know, I enjoy that. So, I mean, they mentioned the Steel Serpent once, which is like his #1 foe or one of his major foes. And so if Steel Serpent showed up, I'd be pretty excited about that. No spoilers, please. But I think that would be really cool because the symbol on the little packet of heroin, that's the Steel Serpent symbol on there. That's what the Steel Serpent has branded on his chest. So I'm kind of excited about that possibility of, like, you know, his Kunlun brother and Lee Kong the Thunderer's son showing up. I am kind of annoyed that I haven't really seen much of Kunlun yet. You know, that they haven't really shown us much. And like that's part of like his background that's like so cool is all the different people that, you know, he dealt with in Kunlun and how, you know, the people in Kunlun aren't exactly really good people. Like if you read the Immortal Iron Fist run, which kind of delves into more of the people in Kunlun and the people that run it, and, you know, they're kind of at best, you know, like in a parlance of a D&D alignment system, they're at best maybe true neutral, you know, just like not really giving a damn about anything, you know, except for their own little mystical world kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm enjoying it, and I'll get through it probably in the next week or two. So
once you're done with it, let's talk, because there's definitely some stuff I want to talk about, but nothing I want to spoil.
So for the Netflix shows overall, other Daredevil, I'm familiar with, and I'm familiar with Punisher, but Jessica Jones, before watching Jessica Jones, I knew nothing about. Luke Cage, I knew nothing about. And Iron Fist, I knew nothing about. So as someone who's not read anything or have anything other than, oh, I've heard the names of these characters, I think all of these shows do a really good job of introducing these characters and what they can do over time. And I think that's what all the shows have excelled at overall. Because it's like, I still don't necessarily think I know everything that Danny can do at this point. You know, I've seen an Iron Fist, and that's about it. You know, and I've seen some reflexes, and like Jessica Jones, I didn't know what her deal was at all. Okay, she's strong. What else? And Luke Cage. Okay, apparently I can't hurt the guy. What else? And so I thought that it's been really good in all the shows watching the characters develop over time. So, well, I think they've done a good job with those. And for some of the things where you said the dialogue wasn't great, the others, I think that was there to set up the background of these people for people like me that didn't know anything about them.
Probably, and that may be where a lot of my criticism comes in, is that the criticism of slow moving is probably for those hardcore fans that know all this stuff and just want to see new and exciting stories with these characters, and they're having to relive a lot of their origins and background stuff for the people who don't.
Right, but at least it's not spending a third of every new Spider-Man movie teaching us how the Peter Parker got bit by a spider again.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Keith, though, because I didn't know anything about Iron Fist really other than the name. Now I'm much more intrigued by it.
Yeah,
well, his powers are, I mean, just this is from comics and what I've seen him do. His powers are that, like, at most, unless he got really, really angry, he could use the power of the Iron Fist once a day. You know, just basically because it just completely drained him, and he had to like meditate basically to get it back. But he was, if not like he was, as far as hand-to-hand combat goes, he was on par with even Captain America. I mean, like he was like basically. Well, no, yeah, that too. But no, like Captain America is considered to be like the best like hand-to-hand fighter in the world, and like Iron Fist was considered to be just like a hair below him. You know,
and that's part of my criticism for the show too, because there's some scenes that make him look like a total badass, and then there's some scenes where he is struggling to keep up with just your common street thugs and your average hand assassins, which I know sounds stupid because these are hand assassins, but there's some scenes where he takes out like 5 of them in no problem, and then other scenes where 1 or 2 give him like a fit and almost take him down. That's some of the inconsistencies that bothered me.
And but see, I don't mind that. I don't mind that, because the fact that you can't have a show where the guy wins all the time, you know, because if you do, then it's like it's boring. Look, I mean, and a perfect example, like in other types of movies, look at like go back and watch like Under Siege, like, and watch Steven Seagal, like watch the Under Siege movies, and you notice like he never really has a challenge with anybody that he fights. You know, it's just like he's just a complete and total.
It's just a body count.
Yeah, it's just a complete and total badass. Never really gets hurt. You know, go back and watch Under Siege, and when he finally gets to fight, I can't think of the actor's name now.
Van Damme?
No, in Under Siege, who is Tommy Lee Jones? So he gets to the end, and Tommy Lee Jones is like they have that knife fight or whatever. Like, count how many different ways he kills Tommy Lee Jones. Like when he does, it's like they have a knife fight for about 5 seconds before he puts his knife in his skull, like crushes both of his eyes, and then smashes his head through it like a computer monitor. You know, it's just like he kills him 3 different ways in like 2 seconds. So you can't have a guy just be a total.
But that's all part of the superheroes being superheroes, though. You want to see these guys be heroic, and when in one scene he takes out 5 hand ninjas in like 8 seconds, and then the other scene 2 guys damn near take him out. It's just the inconsistency like that. It's like, is he still learning? Because I mean, I thought
they were level 5 ninjas. Whereas
I guess so. There's little things like that kind of bothered me. It's like I want to see these guys be heroes, like you said. I want my superhero movies to be about superheroes, and it's fun sometimes seeing the occasional guy struggle to learn his powers and see his progression to mastery. But I mean, when you come into these Netflix shows, for the people who already know about comic books, you want to see these guys being badasses, and sometimes going through all of the beginning stages again is just kind of like, all right, fast forward until we get to some really good action. It's great for newcomers, which I know this is what it's geared for, but for the hardcore fans who I think these shows were originally intended for, it kind of falls a little short.
Well, and then so like, getting back to what I was saying, so he was like considered to be like the living weapon, like he mentions that I'm a living weapon, like he is. He can use, like he can meditate and heal himself. Like if he just sits there and he meditates, Like he has regenerative healing abilities, but he has to be able to focus his meditation. Like the Iron Fist can also be used for other like abilities as well. The fact that like he kind of turns it off and on as quickly as he does, like when I thought it was kind of a cool scene where the guy like hits his hatchet on his hand and the hatchet breaks. I thought that was kind of cool. But I mean, I don't know. It's and the thing was, it was like in the comics, the cool thing about it, the fact that he had the Rand Corporation, he had all this money, but he never really did anything with it. He never went and it's not like a Bruce Wayne thing where he had it and then he spent all his money on having the Batcave and stuff like that, And that's the other thing that I found from two people like, I don't want to care about a billionaire, like a billionaire white dude. It's like, well, yeah, but you love you love Batman, and that's a billionaire white dude. I don't know. It was just
and Green Arrow and
yeah. There's all kinds of
Richards.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I think when people start disliking on something, it's a cool thing and there probably are problems with the show. There are, but it gets exacerbated by the fact that if it becomes cool to hate on it, then people are like, oh, let's hate on it, and then and it's just like, and then so it kind of explodes. I mean, the worst thing that could have happened was the fact that like the main actor actually tried to respond to some of the criticism that he got for the show, and he should have just shut his mouth. He should have just, he was trying to say, oh, if Donald Trump wasn't the president, people would like this more. Well, maybe you're right, but you just don't say anything. You just say, hey, at best you say, we can't be everything for everyone. I think we made a pretty good show, and I've got a lot of people saying that they really enjoyed it as well, and that's all you say. And then you just walk back and you let people. You don't say something. You don't say that out loud. It's just like, some publicist said, "Don't you just shut your mouth."
Well, this is all gearing up for the Defenders anyway, right? So it's going to be the mix of all of them, and it won't. I don't know if their individual seasons will carry on much. I mean, by now you would have thought you'd have seen Jessica Jones 2 and Daredevil 3, but obviously they're holding back on all these just to introduce all the characters for Defenders, which will be interesting to see how they bring them all together. That'll be an interesting.
I think it would be really cool since the original Defenders had Stephen Strange, and now that we know Stephen Strange, who he's playing him, I think it would be really cool if they could get Cumberbatch in for a couple of seasons and be kind of like the creator of the Defenders, or like being like some sort of like overseer of them. I don't think they'll do it, but I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I think they're keeping these movies and TV shows separate, which I think is a mistake. I'd like to see them brought in, but
they've mentioned like the Avengers incident many times. I mean, they've talked about like that's something that occurs. So it's in the same world. It's just they're not having those people run into the other people.
Oh yeah, they've actually made mentions of some of the heroes in some of these shows too. I think they've mentioned the Hulk before, and they've mentioned some others. So I mean, yeah, they're definitely in the same universe. It seems like they're doing they're trying really hard to keep the TV stuff from the movie stuff, with the exception of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which they brought Coulson in, and they talk a lot about the events of the movies, but yeah, I don't know why the Netflix stuff is being segregated. I'd really like to see some of these guys jump into a movie, or vice versa, have some of the movie actors, even just for a brief cameo or a 2-minute scene, just come in. It would be pretty cool, I think.
So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, good. It's I don't know. People are going to say they don't like it, and people are going to say that they don't enjoy it, and it is what it is, kind of thing. But like I said, I'm enjoying it, and if somebody else doesn't, it's not going to make me not enjoy it, I guess. So
no, you'll enjoy it. Like I said, I think it was a solid effort. I'd put it on par with probably Daredevil season 2, and better than Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. So
yeah. So yeah,
okay, I'll see you later. I'm going to go watch Netflix.
No, I mean, fair enough. I mean, I think they're doing a fantastic job right now of keeping people excited and interested, and in the games, and I think that's it's the shows. The more we get, the better it is, right? I mean, come on, just give us our Punisher show already, because he did a very good job as the Punisher, and you know, and I think that they made the Punisher gritty and they made him real, and I think that they could do a really, really good job with him.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not the next one to get his own show. Once they get the Defenders team together, that the Punisher has his own one-off season of just Punisher stuff. That wouldn't be surprising at all. With cameos from some of these guys.
No, I mean I'd agree, and I think it'll be good. It'll be I think this will be excellent. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with this stuff and everything. You know, so you know, I do like. I was gonna say something to you guys, the cool mini or not. It's so weird how the optional buys, if you get all three of them, works out to be exactly $100. That's so neat how you guys managed to do that. It's almost like you did that on purpose. On Rising Sun. How did that happen? I mean, just this.
I didn't know there was an expansion up until they were talking about in the chat. I had to go freaking order it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get the coins or the mat though. So
why wouldn't you get the coins and the mat?
Because you know how many Japanese metal coin things I have?
Those are really cool though, dude.
Yeah, so are the other ones I have.
You're gonna be upset if you don't have all the stuffs.
And why do I need the playmat if I have a board?
Because playmats are fun, dude.
No, I don't have any place to put the effing things.
That is the one thing about playmats I don't like. Is that
yeah, exactly.
They are really like they don't go back in the box, and so you.
But
have
I got
to
the answer. All you got to do is go to some rummage sales, and you find those old quilt racks. Yeah, look, right there. Can you see that?
Here, I'm gonna highlight you so I can actually see it.
The game mats, all on an old quilt rack.
Oh wow, that's actually a really good idea, buddy.
Yeah, we've got one of those in our dining room. I may have to steal it from my wife.
It's perfect.
That's a really good idea.
Thank you.
Can I have yours? I'll drive to Fergus tomorrow and I'll come pick it up.
He'll just make one for you. He's a master woodsman.
We can make you one. Yeah, we'll make you one.
See, I have metal coins.
Are they the Fantasy LLC coins?
No, they came with that Tokaido special edition, so the app Tokaido came out this week, a couple days ago, and I never played a lot of Tokaido, but it's always been a pretty game and an easy, and after playing like 3 games on the app, I'm like, there's not a damn decision to make in this entire game.
No, there really isn't.
That game is purely, did I pick the right guy for the turn order I was going in at the start of the game? And after that, there's not another decision to make. It just happens to you.
These are from the Fantasy coins. There's copper, and then look at this honking thing. And it's like 1,000 pounds.
Oh, so at MeepleCon, and this is kind of a little bit of bragging on my end. So at MeepleCon, there was a surprising number of people that were playing 18xx games, which I always like watching people play 18xx games, just because it's like everybody's making like tons of decisions, but nobody says anything to anybody during the game. It's so weird because and almost everybody there was using poker chips, for their money, and the cool thing is that like when I went to each and every one of those or whatever, and I was looking at them, because I'm like research and look into like all of the different like types of like poker chips and things like that. I was able to like tell them like which poker chips they were using, like from what company and stuff. So I was really impressed with myself as far as being a nerd and knowing that stuff. So that was kind of neat that I was able to like. I've educated myself in the poker chip world that I was able to call them out. So that's neither here nor there, and people are probably like, "Shut up." But I thought it was pretty cool.
By the way, what is the name of those poker chips that you think so highly of?
The last ones I showed off in my video.
Yeah, was that Buffalo or?
No, you get them through Apache poker chips, and they're like they're the Dunes chips. They're like a replicas of the old Dunes thing. But the great thing is that they have dang near every denomination you'd want. So like if you want to play, you can play poker with them, obviously. But if you were playing, they actually have $20 chips, which is like if you play 18xx games, having a $20 chip is really important because it's like a lot of times like it's just easier to make change with them, and so it's just it's one of those things where it's just the added denominations are tough. Like a lot of times people because I don't like having to have like blank chips, like, oh, here's 5 different colors of blank chips. Then you got to remember, okay, so the whites are what, and the reds are what, and the blues are what. Just have the stamp on there. Tell me exactly what it's worth, and I can see it. It's clear. It's there, and I don't have to guess. And so if you're playing a game that's in the thousands or whatever like that, they have 500 chips, 1,000 chips, 5,000 chips, things like that. You just see it right there on the chip, And so like when we play poker, sometimes we play like quarter poker, where like we use quarters and dollars and stuff like that. We play for real money, and sometimes we play tournament stuff where it's like everybody puts $20 in, and you get like 10,000 in chips, like World Series of Poker. And so I like having a large number, but then I don't like mixing different chip stock, so I don't want to have like, oh, this is my Dunes chips that are for when we play cash poker, and here's my Majestic chips for when we play tournament. Because of the fact that the Dunes had different ones for all of the denominations that you could theoretically need, you were able to just have one complete set of chips, and so I really like that. Now, I mean, and they're cheap too. And then when I say they're cheap, I'll say, oh, they cost like 40 cents a chip. So and people are like, well, that's not cheap, really. And technically, no, I guess it isn't. If you get 100 chips, that's $40. If to have like a perfect set of chips, you need around 300 to play like 18xx games, and also just to play like low stakes poker. So you're looking at spending $100 or more. But to get like really, really nice chips, you have to pay. Like the chips cost like $1 or $2 a chip, and then once, so it's pretty exponential as you climb up the ladder. So it's the perfect like relatively inexpensive chips. But then again, the dumb thing, and I'm going to stop talking about poker chips because I could talk for hours on it. The dumb thing about poker chips is that you could go to Walmart and buy one of those metal cases of poker chips that are like the dice chips is what they're called. They just have like the dice stuff on the outsides, and they come in 3 or 4 different colors. White, black, red, and maybe blue
green.
Or green. So they come in like 3, 4, 5 colors. And the thing is those chips will work absolutely perfect for whatever you need them to do. The chip is just there to represent a value, and they work perfectly well. Anything beyond that $25 that you'd pay for that little poker case is just it's just style. You're just paying for something that looks nice. It will you could go and you could play poker with those plastic chips that your grandparents all had that have the ridges that stack really well because they lock together kind of thing. You could play poker with those and it's exactly the same. It's just all you're doing is you're paying for looks and feel and style and whatever. So it's just like, like buying a bigger TV or something like that. You can watch TV on your phone. I can pull up Netflix and watch TV just like this. And I get that. The story would still tell me exactly what happens. I know I could watch Iron Fist right now and I'd still see everything. But I have a 50-inch plasma TV over there that obviously is bigger and better. So it's just what you're willing to pay kind of thing. Oddly, I can probably buy a 50-inch plasma for the price of a new phone now.
You can.
Yeah.
You can get a 50-inch plasma for like $500-600, and the new iPhone 7 is like $799. So yeah, you can.
Well, fellas, I think I'm going to bed.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. It's midnight.
Oh,
Yeah.
you gonna turn into a pumpkin, or what's going on?
No, but I do have to work in the morning.
I also have to be up early in the morning, so I will hang out for like another 15 minutes. You get me
Yeah.
for 15 more minutes.
Netflix.
Oh,
There you go. Good night, guys.
Good night, Keith.
Keith.
Great job
Hey.
at initials.
Yeah, now you have to do them, you poor bastard.
I know.
Night, buddy.
yeah. Good night.
guys.
No. So I mean, yeah. There's that then. So, but So what else is new? Anybody got anything else exciting they want to talk about?
Did I miss all the GAMA talk?
We didn't really talk about GAMA much. I mean, it was
Didn't
just
really
kind of like it was just there, for lack of a better term,
I heard that there was over 700 retailers there this year, where last year there was about 350 to 400.
Yeah, they said this. They're saying this was one of the better GAMAs in the last, 10 years, as far as attendance and overall news coming from the show. It was definitely one of the better GAMAs of recent times.
They had the big hall upstairs on Monday night and Wednesday night demoing games, and that place was just jam packed.
Yeah, it was a good turnout from what I heard from our team. It said it was very impressive to see. So hopefully it doesn't lose any steam moving to Reno.
Do you think it would?
I'm with you on the walking to the elevators. You're walking through a cloud of smoke, and
Well, I do
Really?
think it will affect the attendance, because a lot of these guys go to GAMA because it's a work trip, but it also is a trip to Vegas. And I don't know if the trip to Reno is as exciting. So some of the retailers that go, we may lose once it's not in Vegas anymore, because the luster of going to Reno is not nearly the luster of going to Vegas. And some publishers, for that matter, too. There are a lot of publishers that go to this show because they can use it as a kind of vacation / show. You work 6-7 hours during the day, you go have fun at night, and that will lose a lot of it when it goes to Reno. So I think the attendance
really reasonable too to get to Las Vegas, where they're not so reasonable.
Right. It's a lot cheaper. Right. You can get cheap flights to Vegas. Reno, not so much. So it's going to definitely affect some people. So I wouldn't be surprised if attendance dips down next year and then has to slowly build itself back up. But from what I've heard from the people that went to the facility, some of the people in the industry went to the facility before they went to GAMA. They flew to Reno to see where GAMA will be held next year. And from what I've heard, everything looks great. Like it's a step up from where we're at now. So hard to say, but I know I'm less excited to go to Reno than I would be if GAMA was still in Vegas next year. I just didn't like Bally's, which is the only reason I didn't like where GAMA was at now.
We went out the one night with the Chinese manufacturers for Arcane Wonders, and we walked through the Venetian.
Oh,
Wow.
gorgeous hotel.
And then the fountains in front of the Bellagio. That was remarkable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And a good point in the chat too by Paul, that there's a lot of local retailers in Vegas. There's a lot of game stores in Vegas, whereas in Reno, not as many. So those local attendees may drop as well going to Reno. Although I don't know how far Reno and Vegas are. I don't know if it's still reasonable driving distance or not.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. And from my understanding, they're changing NeepleCon to be a week before now because they're not going to coincide. Whereas there was a lot of carryover of people that were at the NeepleCon from the GAMA Trade Show. Maybe James was there, R&R was there.
Yeah, I feel bad because MeepleCon's going to take a bigger hit, I think, than GAMA will, because for that fact, the Dice Tower guys stayed. Last year, we stayed a couple days and went to MeepleCon, and I think that MeepleCon's going to take a big hit in attendance from all the people that were there for GAMA, which sucks because MeepleCon's a great convention. It's a great little convention.
How far is Reno away from Vegas?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the West Coast. I don't go out there very often. So
Maui Chris says that Reno's just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Bay Area. Things that make you go, It's fine.
It's fine. It's all fine. Yeah. So I mean, Reno's not exactly a bad thing. I mean,
Gotta look it up now.
I don't know. GAMA was fun. I enjoyed talking to people. I enjoyed showing off the stuff. I mean, I don't know. It was just something I had never done before. I'm glad I got the chance to do it. So,
Hey, it's in the same state.
yeah. Well, it's Reno, Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it's the same state. We just don't know how close it is.
Where did you think Reno was?
California or something. Texas?
Are you serious?
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, no.
No, I typed in Reno, Nevada, and saw the little dot on the map. Not like I'm ignorant, you know what I mean?
No, you beat me at initials tonight, so I can't throw stones. I mean, it's obviously it's like on the other side of Nevada. It's nowhere even close to Las Vegas. So, Las Vegas is in like the
7 hours away.
the southern tip of it, and then it's very northwest, if I remember correctly, from Reno. As far as that goes. But I mean, but it's also got casinos and stuff too. So I mean, it isn't like it's, I mean, people can. If you want to gamble, you can still gamble in Reno.
Yeah.
I think what most people will not be attracted to Reno for is the nightlife, the big grandiose hotels, the great fine dining restaurants.
Well, let's look at what Reno has here. Okay, hold on. All right, so
just north of Carson City, the board game.
Oh, great. They have a Cinco de Mayo celebration called the Great Reno Balloon Race.
It's been known to be called the Little Las Vegas.
I see here also that it is publicly known as the best little town, the biggest little city in the world.
Yep, that's what they say. Clean air. Every year it has clean air. It says.
Yeah, they ship it in. They ship it in.
Craft breweries and distilleries.
Well, you had me at craft brewery right there.
There you go.
Let's see here. It has a USL soccer team. It has
the Whitney Peak has stylish rooms with recycled furniture.
Let's do this. Let's go there. Let's go there next week. All of us meet there. It sounds like it's like
I'm in.
Reno Whitewater Festival at the Whitewater Park in Reno. So
Ooh.
It looks like a nice place. Yeah. I mean, notable residents. Here we go. These are the notable residents of Reno. David Coverdale, former front singer of Deep Purple and White Snake. I'm just seeing who I know here. Kimberly Conrad, Playboy Playmate of the Year of 1989, and Hugh Hefner's ex-wife. Let's see here. Curtis Hanson, the producer-director of films 8 Mile, LA Confidential, and The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I have no idea who that was, but I knew those things. Colin Kaepernick lives in Reno, who is also still looking for a job right now. Him and Adrian Peterson are like having.
They should start their own team.
So, are you trying to entice us to like Reno, or trying to get us to not want to go next year?
I'm just telling you what I said. You know what? The party's wherever I am. So, that's all you need to know is if I'm there, it'll be fine.
Then we can just hold GAMA in North Dakota.
I am seriously considering, like, I'm gonna find a hotel like area here that I can rent out for a weekend, and I'm gonna try to get as many. I'm gonna let everybody know about like 9 months ahead of time. I'm gonna try to pick a time where like it's just dead as far as like conventions go. Like, there's that weird
February.
Yeah, I mean, well, February is like I was thinking, because I'll do this instead of doing Con of the North. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna-
isn't the weather bad though? Aren't you going to have snow issues and stuff in February?
whatever. But
Absolutely.
the thing is, we get people into like a cheap hotel that like because like hotels here aren't expensive. So like you're there at the hotel, you just have you pay for 2 nights, get people to like. And I bet if I told people 9-10 months ahead of time, and I said, hey, look, just come down here. We're going to have a captive audience of like I have a good 20 people that I know that are hardcore board game people. And then if I got even like 5 to 10 like board game friends that I have from around the world just to come in as well. I mean, like people like you, Pete.
Eric Lang and
Well, no, I don't think I get Eric Lang to show up. Let's slow my roll here just a little bit. But I mean, like if I could convince like Travis Chance to show up. I mean, if
It depends. Don't forget New York Toy Fair is in February, and most of
well, like I said, I had to find a weekend, and I just get 5 to 10 people just to, if I can convince them to show up and just have a weekend of gaming
and hold an Undead Viking poker tournament.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
Of course, no money would change hands during
the Gathering of Viking.
Oh yeah, see, like
the Gathering of Vikings.
Yeah, the Gathering of Vikings, and just call it a weekend, and just I think I could do this.
See, I do that. I do that 4 times a year. I host a gaming thing at my house that I call PeteCon, and I've been doing it for 7 years now. And 3 or 4.
My invite must have gotten lost in the mail.
Well, I don't invite a lot of out of state people because it's just a weekend of gaming at my house. I don't have a hotel to put them up.
Notice the backtrack.
But I do that
last year, Pete. Thanks for that was great.
I do that like 4 times a year. I invite 15 or so of my friends from the local area to come over, and we just do a weekend of gaming. It starts on Friday and ends on Sunday, and it's cool. I dig that kind of stuff. The hardest part is the
finding
travel.
15 friends.
No, I have an abundance of the friends. I don't have a lack of
You're a
friends.
very gregarious and friendly individual.
But yeah, stuff like that's great. It's just the planning convention season seems to be growing and growing, and it's fine. I've like this year I only did it once. Or last year in 2016 I only did it once. Normally I do 4 of them. It's getting harder and harder to find time to schedule these things because it seems like the convention season every week a new convention's popping up. November used to be great. Now all of a sudden you've got the PAX Unplugged and BGG Con in November now. Even December now, the stuff is moving into the early parts of December, like the Dice Tower Cruise and stuff. It just seems like I feel like in 3 years there will be no month left untouched. There'll be conventions.
What's the deal with PAX and BGG being on the same weekend?
We talked about that with Aldi 2 weeks ago, and I think it was just that was when they didn't feel that BGG was as big a competition and felt that they wouldn't be that big a hit to them to do it the same weekend, or it was strategic because they were going after that crowd. We're not sure, but they're expecting 10,000 people, which is 3 times the amount of people at BGG. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Yeah. It sounds like the Dice Tower crew is going there instead of BGG because they felt like they needed a presence there, but they can't be in both places. But I was listening to Board Game Insider with Stephen Bonacore and Ignacy Chevacek, and Stephen said he loves BGG, so he's coming there because that's his favorite con of the year. However, he's going to have staff as a presence up at PAX.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to be like that. A lot of the bigger people,
We're sending teams to both, but our team for PAX is going to be more of a skeleton team just to feel it out for the first year. I'll actually be going to BGG Con. I know a lot of the industry people because BGG Con you were locked in so early, and most of them are already locked into the BGG Con before PAX was even announced. So I think PAX will be a skeleton shell this year, as a lot of companies are going to scramble to send their B teams over there to have a presence, but if it ends up being as big and as good as people are saying it's going to be, then it could be a serious threat for next year's BGG Con. As if you're going to have to split your forces in half or make a choice, it could end up hurting BGG in the long run if it stays on the same weekend.
50 VIP tickets instead of 100.
It won't hurt the attendance. Like the people going are still going to go because BGG sells out every year. Yeah, it's the vendors that it's going to hurt because some of these middleweight vendors don't have enough staff to send to 2 places, and if they have to choose they're going to choose the one that's going to have a bigger audience for more opportunity to sell. And right now that's PAX Unplugged because they have a bigger a venue, so they can have up to 10 or 12,000 people, whereas BGG is kind of locked into that like 1,500 to 2,000 range of attendees. So,
and is that the only big show on the East Coast other than New York Toy Fair, which isn't really board game centric?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you got the PAX show, you've got the Cool Mini Expo, which is very small, and then you've got and then you've got the one you mentioned. I'm
covered at the Cool Mini Expo, by the way, Pete. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Awesome. That's going to be great. But we're a very small show, so the biggest show is PAX East right now, and PAX Prime or PAX Unplugged may. Who knows what PAX Unplugged is going to do, but yeah, there's not a lot of big presence on the East Coast. 'Cause even Toy Fair, that's a trade show, so it's not a public venue like PAX East is. So,
yeah, I think it's interesting. No, I think this Undead Viking this Viking Con thing
Gathering of Vikings.
The Gathering of Vikings.
All Alaboomers will be invited to.
It's huge. It's going to be huge. We're going to make Vikings great again. Trust me.
Ugh, that's enough of that.
It's going to be so huge. It's going to be like
no
my
politics.
Hair.
We're done.
It's luxurious. This isn't politics. This is comedy. I'm going to make.
Why am I not laughing?
Again. Okay, I'll make Alex Baldwin great again. Okay, believe me when I say it'll be luxurious. It'll be like my hair, my swirl. It'll be like a tornado hit my head. It's going to be huge. You're going to love it. Trust me. Your ratings will go up.
Well, okay. So let's see. We did airing grievances. We did 2 before and afters. We did our initials. Does anybody else have anything exciting or pressing that they want to talk about?
We have a game on Kickstarter right now. Some of you haven't heard about it. It's called Rising Sun. It's funding goal, so it will come out this year.
Oh, thank goodness! I was worried it wasn't going to hit its goal.
And if you'd like to take a look at it, just go to the Kickstarter and search Rising Sun, and it's a cute little niche Asian themed diplomacy style board game that's got a couple miniatures and some nice artwork. So
I've already made a prediction. It's going to hit 5 million.
Well, here's the deal. It's like the newcomer Eric Lang really hit it out of the park with that design, and out of nowhere, really. No, that great success for you guys. And I mean, I should have I realize there's no way you could do it, but I wish you could have said, it's like the Kickstarter project was called Rising Sun, and then parentheses a license to print money.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
No. I mean, you guys have. I mean, you've consistently produced, great games and with great minis, and so it's not only it's a building off of the best game that of your line that you've ever created, which is Blood Rage. Easily, that's like by and large the best game you guys have made, in my opinion. But you're building off of the success of that, and then you're the spiritual successor kind of thing. So
they made a lot of announcements at GAMA that kind of pushed towards that as well, like hiring on Adrian Smith and McVeigh as full-time staff for us. Those are the guys that do the artwork and the sculpts for all of our miniatures games. Now they're focusing only on our games, which means that production quality should be more consistent through all of our lines now. And then obviously locking down Eric Lang exclusively doesn't hurt, right? I mean, it's they're making the right moves, I think, to make us actually be a legitimate threat to some of the big boys in the industry, which I'm real happy to see. I feel the direction is moving in a very positive vibe, and I feel like the only bigger and better things to come. More games like Rising Sun and Blood Rage in the future, and all of our other projects having Eric Lang's hand on it is you couldn't ask for a better person to develop a project. So. Should be exciting. I'm looking forward to the next few years with CMON and seeing where this company will go, where they'll end up.
Exciting stuff, buddy. Exciting stuff. So
it is. It is. This is a big year for me personally and for the company. So good stuff.
Well,
Absolutely. I saw a couple games that I thought were really interesting. It was the one I saw at MeepleCon actually was in the yellow booth, and it's that new game Arena of the Gods.
I haven't seen that yet.
yeah, I peeked at that and took a look.
It's
So-
basically you actually are drafting your cards by an auction bidding system, and you're getting weapons and armor and different things, movement, and you're bidding, but you only have 20 of these energy coins, so you have to kind of be sparingly, but you don't want to be the last one to choose. But that's actually building your character, and then you're going through the variabilities off the hook. There's like 20 some scenarios. So, and then with the stack of cards and all the different abilities for the different races, and you're getting these cards, and then it's kind of a King of Tokyo 3-roll situation that you get to actually pay resources for each of those particular cards. Some of them might only require 1 die, some of them require 2, and they're a little more powerful. So you've kind of got that management thing, but you still got the King of Tokyo thing, and the artwork on this stuff is beautiful. The gameplay was great. The card drafting, I was really impressed by that game.
Did either of you see the Batman miniatures game by Monolith that's supposedly going to be going to Kickstarter later this year? Was it at GAMA at all? Because that's the one I'm really looking forward to. I'm a huge Batman fan, and the Conan game turned out really great. So if they're using the same system with the same type of sculpts and stuff, I think that game's going to be really hot.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I saw at GAMA, but I saw it through Barry Doublet, my podcast partner. He just told me today that he might be able to come with Monolith because he's doing a bunch of music for them, and he did some reviews with them, and he might be coming to Gen Con with Monolith.
Nice. That'd be awesome.
That's exciting.
That'd be pretty cool. He's not been. Has he not been in the last couple years?
No, he's never been here, but he's been to the UK Game Expo, and we were talking like I'd like to get there sometime, but that's an expensive trip.
Yeah, no kidding. I've always wanted to go to Essen, but until the company needs me there, I'm gonna be waiting because it's way too expensive to do on my own dime.
Yeah, it is a I will go there eventually one day kind of thing for me.
Yeah, I'd like to go there too. I love German food.
Well, you can eat German food here, just so you know.
Yeah, but I want to eat more of it over there.
All I gotta say, Kabuki Kid, is that is a gross statement. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna repeat it. Not even gonna repeat.
Well, like I said, like we have this chain in the Upper Midwest. We have a chain of hotels that are called the Come On Inns, like C''MON Inns. I've told this story a few times before, but I remember taking a pizza order when I was working for Pizza Hut, and the guy was there, and he was just like, the whole thing was, it was like, yeah, I need like a large pepperoni. Yeah, where are you staying at? I'm in a hotel. I'm room 124 at the Seaman Inn. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm looking at the thing. It says the Seaman Inn. The Come On In. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. He said, I was just like, yeah.
Hey, I saw another game that I think is really cool, and it's from Smirk and Dagger Games, and it's this new game called Paramedic Clear.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah,
like trying to resuscitate somebody. Yeah, and it's not trying to be actual, so it handles the topic sensitively, or in a humorous way. So the card art is really kind of humorous and fun, but it does have that time element, so you actually feel like you are really racing to save this person's life. And the art looked really great. The mechanism looked really fun, and the cover of this box is like they actually hired an actress because they wanted to capture that emotion. Immediately I saw that look on her face, and the artist that they had do it, I don't know it off the top of my head, nailed it. I mean, it's really evocative.
I've seen that look on a girl's face too, but that was Prom.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yep, that means I'm getting tired, so it's getting close to bedtime.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, why don't we? We've had a good time or whatever, and
I'm so glad we had this time together. Just to laugh and sing a song. And before you know it, it's over. And it's time. So long.
We're old. We are old people.
Yeah, we are. We talk about drinking Arnold Palmer's and how great it is. Oh yeah, that Arnold Palmer was amazing. That was so good. But we'll have to.
She got it. She knew what it was.
Yeah, Kabuki Kid is an aged veteran as well.
Yeah.
So smart.
Lance Vegas Con. That's not a good name too.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Lance Vegas.
I do like Gathering of Vikings better though. So.
Oh, the
Gathering of
that
Vikings.
hit it right on the head.
You know what? Here you go, Lance. This solves all your problems. Instead of having it in North Dakota, have it in Vegas.
No.
We'll take over where Gamma left off. That way we get our gambling, cheap flights, cheap hotels, and nightlife.
And MeepleCon.
And MeepleCon.
I would
do it.
butt heads with MeepleCon, you know. So
We do it the weekend after MeepleCon. That way people can go to MeepleCon, and then the weekdays after that, like 3 or 4 weekdays after MeepleCon, because MeepleCon after BGG, that's the end of the convention season. So
we could do MeepleCon. We could do the other room that MeepleCon's in across the hall, and we can compete here.
I don't even know if you compete, but everyone goes to Reno for Gamma, and then they go to MeepleCon right after that, and then stay an extra 2 or 3 days for the Gathering of Vikings. That way, you're not having to fly extra. It's all the same trip. You just extended it by a few days.
There is no way. I was gone from my house for 8 days.
Yeah, way too long.
That was way too long. I was gone way too long.
I was ready.
It is a long time. The good thing, though, is that after that trip, you're not going anywhere until at least February, March. So you've got 2 or 3 months at home after that trip to make up for it. So just a thought.
I'm gonna make something happen. I'm gonna do this.
I know the perfect place, Lance.
But your house?
No, there we go. I'll make ribs.
Well, yeah.
I can make a pot load of ribs, dude.
I'm thinking the Gathering of Berkey's sounding quite scrumptious right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, but I mean, you have the other building too, right?
Yeah, we could fit probably 50, 60 people in there.
Well, we could throw the pews out or something.
Berkey has the luxury of lots of table toppers to accommodate lots of gamers.
Well, no, okay, no. I mean, I'm talking seriously now here, Kevin. So I mean, I haven't been in your church. I mean, is it you just have do you have pews or do you have chairs or what do you do there?
Actually, we do have pews, but it's a 20 by 50 building. But
okay, so we'd burn the pews.
Yep, do that. We really have a sound system though, so we could crank the music. We could do all kinds of fun stuff.
Well, you don't want music. You don't want to crank the music.
I like the idea.
I don't sit there and listen to Slayer. I'm trying.
No, I was thinking Star Wars. Thematic music.
I like the idea of smoked meat, though. Definitely smoked meat.
But here's the deal. There's no place to stay. So if we got people, we'd have to set up tents and stuff.
Well, I got 6 bedrooms in the house.
Well, okay, but dude, what I'm saying,
we can put a couple people out in the igloo outside. We'll make an igloo.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, but see, we'd have to maybe have it close. We have it sometime in the spring or the fall, and so it'd be not so
April.
Cold. Yeah, not so cold that people. So you could set up a tent and just hang out, and not so warm that you didn't want to stay outside. But not so cold that you didn't want to be outside either.
I don't think there's a lot of big shows in April. I think March and April, because Gamma's the only thing in March, and then April is pretty much there's PAX and Adepticon, but they're usually earlier in March. So after Gamma, before May is probably your best chance.
Yeah, the trick would be getting people, because where's the closest airport to you is in Fargo, right? If people actually came from out of town.
For me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Well, St. Cloud too.
Yeah, but that's more than an hour though.
little bit.
A little bit. So like, yeah, if people fly in, we could like everybody group up, and then we could just like trek out. We could trek out, and then it could be like our version of Woodstock.
We could bus them in.
Yeah, and our version of Woodstock, and then
get some porty potties out there. Get some
I think we can make this happen, Kevin. This we could do this.
I'm in.
Would we obstruct your church service on Sunday though?
No.
Why? Oh, that's right, because the pews would be burned. They wouldn't have any place to sit anyway.
We'll all join in.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I think the place that really would be perfect is the Courtyard Marriott in Moorhead. They've got this huge ballroom. It's huge.
Well, yeah, but how much does that cost? I mean, I'm
$100 probably.
$100 for 3 days.
Well,
$100, $33 a day.
A day. That's not
yeah, but then you just put like a $5 convenience fee on the Gathering of Vikings, and you bring 20 or 30 people, and you've got your hall covered.
Well, Josiah, he's the president of the game club up in Grand Forks. We'll recruit people from Grand Forks down. We'll recruit people from here. Pete will bring his crew up with Eric Lang and Adrian Smith and all those guys.
You just get Eric in a car. Where are we going? Don't worry about it. Just go to sleep.
I don't know if you realized, but in the article when Eric Lang took the job with us, he's going to be moving to Singapore and working out of our Singapore office. So getting him to come to Gathering of Vikings may be a little bit tricky.
No, he's a good guy. He'll do it.
Okay.
Make it happen. You can win it for us.
I'll talk to him about that.
All right. Well, we'll figure this out. This is gonna be a real thing, though. We're gonna make this a real thing. Something.
There.
Do your state parks have cabins like in Pennsylvania? There's like 10, 12 cabins that you can rent.
There's a state park. There's a park in Fargo called Lindenwood that has cabins that you can stay at. But
there's your lodging and everything else.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think there's a really good area to play the games in. I don't know. There's lots of options. I mean, it's just. The thing is that what's a feasible number of people you have?
Hey, I actually know of a lodge out on Eagle Lake. My family goes there every Christmas, and it can house about 80 people, and it has this huge area, but they've got huge. Believe me when I say huge.
I think that you're realistically looking at 20 to 30 people for your first go.
Yeah.
And then you'll grow off of that.
Not with Eric Lang coming. It's going to be huge.
You gotta remember that a lot of people travel for a living, which is us, and that's another trip to add to the book. So you're going to lose some people because of that. You're going to lose some people based on your location because you're kind of far away from.
I say
it's the Gathering of Vikings. Are you?
We appoint Pete and Barry in charge of abductions, and so you guys plan for Bonacor. You go and grab Uwe Eichert. You go grab Eric Lang. We'll come up with a list of people, and then you'll have a good year to plan your abduction, and then just get them there. Once they're a captive audience, they have no.
We get one of those buses, one of those vans. Get one of those vans with the circle windows in the back.
Oh yeah.
The orange one, 1978 Dodge.
Yeah, exactly. It'll work. In all honesty, I remember one time, when I worked at a gas station, super late at night, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And this is a good story to end the note on. One of the things that's kind of stunk working at this gas station that we actually did close. We were supposed to close at 12:30, but one of the things that the owner said was, as long as people keep showing up, keep taking their money. I'll pay for the overtime. So it was one of those things where I couldn't close it down because people just kept showing up and kept showing up and kept showing up. And as soon as the last car would pull out, I'd be in the process of shutting down the fuel tanks and everything like that, and somebody'd pull in, and I'd be like, dang it, and then more, but whatever. So the last car to pull in was this big, giant, old school white van. The ones that And we were in front. We were one of the last places that had we were one of the last places that closed up early, but a lot of the gas stations, then we actually had like a service station attached to it as well, so it was both things. And now it's like almost all the gas stations are like just like 7-Elevens and mini marts and things like that. So it was weird that we had. So the guy gets out, and I can't really see him because he's on the other side, and he fills up, and I noticed like his van, I can see that he has built a wooden box, basically in the van. So there's the two front seats, and I could see that there was just basically it looked like he had built basically a giant plywood box and put it in the back of his van. So and you can see in the windows, you can just see wood, and when he had to open up the back of his van for something, I have no idea why, but you can see there was just basically this giant wood box in the back of his van. I was like, what is this guy doing? Is he abducting people? Is he driving cross country or whatever? And of course it's 2:00 in the morning, nobody else within miles of me, and I'm just kind of watching this guy fills up, and I was like, please just do pay at the pump, please just do pay at the pump. But no, here he comes ambling in because he wanted to know if he wanted to know about something for some service, for his car, I don't know what it was. And swear to God, this guy looked sketchy as hell, but he had a Hitler mustache. He literally had a Hitler mustache, the symbol of hate on him. And I was just like, this guy is going to use my skin for beef jerky or something. I was just trying to get him out the door as much as possible. It's I don't know, you'll have to come back tomorrow with the service. Sorry, later. But yeah, I was pretty sure that was a serial killer, and then he drove off into the night, probably with people in the back of his truck screaming for help. But I'm just glad that I survived my encounter with, I don't know, Hitler's son or something. So, but yeah, I avoided it. But anyway, yeah, not the best story, but I swear that was the closest I ever came to really, really sketchy person, probably.
Mac Drizzle said we can get some rags and chloroform and kind of take out the Dice Tower crew.
There you go. Yeah. So
that's too funny.
But all right. Well, yeah, there you go. So good show. It was fun. I'm sorry Keith is gone, but he did a really good job with initials. So you got to do initials now next week, Pete.
Yep, I'm gonna try to figure out what initials to go with, and
try to go with 14 and a tiebreaker.
14 and a tiebreaker. All right.
14 and a tiebreaker.
I haven't decided yet. I remember the ones that I've been a part of, but you guys have done this a lot longer than I've been participating, so I'm sure I'll hit something that's been done again, but I'll try to go obscure with my selections.
Well, don't go too obscure. I mean, what's his name? Who did one that was super obscure and we had no clue? My big thing is when I do it, I try to make sure that I don't do all people. I try to do companies, or I try to do sports teams or cities, things like that.
I've already got
analysis paralysis would have been a good.
I thought I wrote that down. I actually thought he was going to do that because Keith really likes to throw board game stuff in there, and he didn't go with it. I was very surprised.
Well, I try to do a board game related, at least one board game related one too. Because technically this is a board game show, right?
Sure, it is.
It is.
Yeah, supposed to.
Podcast. We never talk about board games. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. But all right. Well, hey everybody. Barry, did anybody win? By the way?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
You guys none of you guys believed in me. I'm glad nobody won.
Did somebody have Pete with 4 by any chance?
No.
No?
God.
How many people bet on me?
1, I think.
1?
How many did 5 bet on me?
Yes.
They must have all bet on Keith to stump us.
Oh, that's
Also,
not nice.
But Eric had Pete with 6.
Eric is a smart man. Eric, you are a smart man.
Eric
Lance, send him something.
Eric Burden also had a band called the Animals. They had a couple hits.
Kabuki, you never used Twitter? Really? What's up?
She's a smart woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, her life is easier. Yeah, she's happier.
Yeah.
All right. All right, cool. Well, thank you everybody for took the time to watch us live. It means a lot. And for those of you who have approached me and told you that you like the show, that really means a lot. I know we joke around. I know we say that, we can't believe anybody listens to us. In a lot of ways, I really can't believe anybody does listen to us. So, but it does make me feel good to know that people do for whatever reason, because you get something out of it. And I don't think any of us would do this if we didn't have fun doing it. So it's just, and that's weird, isn't it? That like we have fun doing it. And then we kind of do it, and then we do it for us, but somehow we connect with somebody, if you will. I don't know. It's weird, in my opinion. But anyway, shut up, Barry. I will say that Kevin, the game of Coliseum with Sam was hilarious. That was a very good game. And then the King of Tokyo was also a blast.
That was brutal.
Yeah, but those are fun. If you guys hadn't all just tried to kill me the second game, I would have had 2 wins with Cyber Bunny. But I was like talking to the dice, and everybody was getting mad at me because I was like rolling 5 claws. It was
Yeah, that's right. Paul Tompkins. He introduced himself. He came up to me too and talked about seeing me on the Alaboom and listened to Berkey and Badger and liked our stuff. That was really cool. Thanks for doing that, by the way, Paul. I love that too. It's so neat to connect with folks that you see in chat and different things like that.
Yeah, so good stuff. All right, thanks everybody. Everybody watching after the fact as well. Thank you, Pete, for coming on. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Kevin. And see you next week.
Night, y'all.
Good nobbin'.